Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about BlizzCon Online. Now BlizzCon Online is happening this weekend, this Friday and Saturday, February 19th and the 20th. And it'll be kicking off with the opening ceremony this Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. in the UK. You can figure it out from there, but that is when the BlizzCon Online opening ceremony is kicking off. That is usually when the main things happen, and then immediately following that, there is a secondary thing. So there's the Overwatch behind the scenes with Overwatch 2 is happening at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time, and then there's the Voices of Overwatch after that, and so on and on and on. And then on the 20th, there's some more stuff. Overwatch League Shock versus the World thing is going on, and then there's some stuff at the end with Crafts with Zoe. There's the community-made creations in the workshop, and there is the art studio for Roadhog. So there's some stuff going on this weekend for Overwatch and Overwatch 2. But the primary thing is going to be that opening ceremony and the behind the scenes of Overwatch 2 main channel stuff. So today, I'm just going to talk about what I hope to get. I'm not in the place to give predictions. I think we all know what types of things to expect. I'm just going to give the things that I want to see and the things that I think are the most important things that we should see. And I'm going to kind of start in kind of... this isn't like a top 5 or anything like that. I'm just going to go with the things that I think are the least important, the things that I care about the least, and then I will move up to the things that I think... I want the most. So, starting out, I want to say I want to get some more information on kind of this non-game specific news. I expect us to get a lot of stuff about Overwatch 2 specifically. I expect us to get some look at some gameplay. I'm really curious about some of these things that are not the game itself that I hope we get some type of announcements for, or at least news about. I'm talking things like the comics, the books. I know there was a leak some time ago about the next book, which is going to be about Ash and McCree. I think that's a really great book idea. I've still not finished the one about Efi. I really just kind of dropped the ball on that one, but I am going to hopefully finish that one soon. I want to get more news and stuff like that. I also, as a big fan of LEGO, would love to see more news, potentially, or any information about the continued support of the LEGO Overwatch line. I personally am under the impression that the line is probably dead until potentially Overwatch 2 comes out. I would love to get news on the line. I don't think we will. I'm not expecting anything for it, but hey, I'd love to get it. I want just kind of more outside of the game news on stuff that's going on. I expect us to get a lot of Overwatch League news. I didn't even write that down on my list, but obviously, we're going to get Overwatch League stuff, and we're going to get news about the Overwatch League, which is good and great, and I'm really happy to see that. But I do want to get some of this non-game information about stuff about what's going on with the world of Overwatch in terms of media and storytelling, and then also with some merchandising stuff that I personally do care about. I'd love to see some more from that. In addition to that, I hope we get an animated short. We haven't gotten one since the Overwatch 2 reveal cinematic back in 2019, so it's been over a year since we've had an animated short. I think there's a chance we get one, and a pretty good chance we get one. We typically get an animated short at BlizzCon. I'm pretty sure we've gotten an animated short at every BlizzCon, so even if this is a bit of a different BlizzCon than usual, I do want an animated short, and I think that's something that everybody really wants, and I think that is something that will probably happen. But give me an animated short that just takes my breath away. Every time there's an animated short, I forget about the fact that I am angry and upset at Overwatch, because I do just love those animated shorts, and I hope that we get more of those. I expect only one, but any animated short is good for me. These last 3 things I really want to touch on are all kind of connected anyway, so I'll just kind of rope them in together and really just kind of bring them in. I want to get specific information about new heroes to the game. whether they be for Overwatch or Overwatch 2. I want to see more information on some new heroes. I'd like to see some showcase abilities for some of these new heroes. We know Sojourn is coming. We don't know anything about Sojourn. Let us see some Sojourn. Let us see what types of things Sojourn can do. Is she a damage hero? Is she a support hero? I want to see that information. Let us get some other teases of some other heroes. That hero that likely was getting teased in the Kanezaka short story, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me right now. Let me see some information on her. Is she the hero that was teased that had the silhouette with the fox and whatnot? Let me see some new heroes. And also give me some new maps, potentially. I think some new maps would be cool. Some gameplay of some new maps, not just trailer footage of new maps. It's been a while since we've seen anything about the game. Let us just see something, some type of working demo of the game, even if it's not like a playable demo for us, even if it's just like, they give us 10 minutes of gameplay of Overwatch 2, whether it be a story mission, whether it be a new game mode, whatever it is. Give me that. I want that. I want more information on heroes and the gameplay itself, just to kind of let us see where the game is going and give me some information on that. And kind of building onto that, I really want to get new information on when we can expect the game to come out. I don't expect them to drop a release date. A release window would be nice, but I really don't even expect that. I don't expect much, to be honest with you, in that department. Rumors, of course, have been that it's going to come out next year, 2022. I think that's probably a pretty likely reality. There's a chance that we get it late in 2021, but most likely the game comes out next year. If that is the case, just let us know that that's when it's going to come out, and let us know when to expect it to come out, and when to kind of put our expectations on, because that, for me, really is what I care about the most, is just when can we expect this game, and what should we prepare ourselves for expectations-wise. And I also want to get some more information on some of the things we've seen from 2019, right? Building off that Sojourn thing. Let me see more Sojourn. What does she look like right now? What does she do in game? How does she play? I want to see some more updated looks for some of the heroes that are in the game currently. We've seen Reinhardt, Mercy, Winston, Mei, Tracer, Genji. I don't think Brigitte had any updated look. Oh, Lucio had an updated look. I don't think Echo was updated at all. Those two looked the same from what I could tell. So I want to see some updated looks for some of the other characters who we haven't seen yet. I think that would be really, really cool, and it would be a really great way to kind of get people excited again, is to show us some more looks on some of these characters. I remember Jeff Kaplan at last BlizzCon said that Moira's redesign was really cool, and it was something that he was a big fan of, so let us see some more of those, if not all of them. I'm sure we won't see every single one, but I'd certainly like to see them all, if that's at all possible. And like I said, with the gameplay from some of these other maps and some of these modes, like Push, give us more of those. I want to see some more of what's going on with those game modes and those maps, because that to me is some of the most interesting stuff. Build upon what they talked about last BlizzCon with the skills that all the heroes have. Show us some other hero abilities that are in the game that are really cool. So that for me is kind of the big thing that I hope we get in the Overwatch 2 department. I don't expect to get a release date. Hopefully a release window is nice, at least giving us an idea of like, hey, the game's probably not going to come out this year, or the game might be out this year. Here's what I would kind of expect if I were you. That is what I would really like to see. I think that would be the best thing they could do for Overwatch 2. Unless they said, hey, the game's coming out this year, here's when you can expect it. I think that would be cool, but I don't expect that. But at the very least, give us kind of a time to expect it to release, and possibly some type of new gameplay footage other than just what we've seen from 2019. But I think the big thing that a lot of people want, and this is the thing that I want more than anything else, is I want to know what we can expect for Overwatch, the game that we currently have, between now and the release of Overwatch 2. I've seen rumors that the game is going to go free to play. I don't know if it's going to go free to play when Overwatch 2 comes out, or if it'll go free to play before that. I think that if the game is not coming out this year, you cannot afford to have Overwatch be a paid game that people are still paying for the next year. If Overwatch 2 comes out next year, you have to make the game free to play because you need to have ways to keep this player base engaged and active. And right now, the player base, look, I love the game. I still play the game a lot. I don't see anything really happening that will make me just stop playing the game entirely. Maybe if they started getting rid of heroes, I would stop playing, but I don't want that to happen at all, so don't do that. But they need to do stuff to keep Overwatch itself engaging. They said when Echo released that there would be no more new heroes in Overwatch. If this game's not coming out until 2022, I don't think you can get away with that anymore. Unless you can give us reason to get excited for Overwatch 2. When Overwatch 2 was announced, Jeff Kaplan said that there would only be 1 to 2 more heroes beyond, or that would be added to Overwatch. When Echo came out, they said this would be the last hero. I think it's not unreasonable to change your mind and give us 1 new hero. Even if that new hero isn't announced at BlizzCon, even if they say, hey, the game is not going to come out for a while, so we're going to give you another hero. We're not going to reveal who that is yet. We're not ready to showcase this hero yet. The hero is still in development, and we're getting closer to showing you guys that. But, we'll show you at a later date. Maybe it's over the summer. Maybe it's in April, in March. Who knows when it is. But I think you have to give us information on what to expect in the base game of Overwatch. And with that, I would love to see a roadmap for the game. This will never happen. Overwatch and the Blizzard team are not ones to do that for the most part. Typically, they do not reveal that type of information in advance. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Things can change, schedules change, so they may say they're going to do something on this time at this date, and then they have to change that because they physically don't have the time to do that. It happens. I understand that happens. I don't have a problem with that happening. If you can't get that to work, it's whatever. But a rough roadmap of the type of content to expect in Overwatch itself for the next year would, for me, be a really good thing. Because we have no idea what things to expect from Overwatch for the next year. And usually we don't. But the difference in past years, and this was the case in 2019, not so much the case in 2020, but in the past, we always knew there was something coming. We always knew there was more heroes coming. We always knew there were more maps coming. And so there was no reason to kind of panic about the game. There was no reason to feel like, oh, the game itself is not in a super great spot right now, or I'm getting a little bored, but I know there's more content coming in the future, so that's something that's good. This game is at the point where if you are not putting out new content regularly, and you're not keeping the player base engaged, you're going to lose a lot of players. I think going to free-to-play is a good way to retain a number of players, or at least equal out the losses. You may lose players, but there's a good chance you bring in some more players as well. And you may bring more in than you lose, even if it's just for a short term, and you lose a lot of those people eventually again anyway. But that's a really good way, I think, to get players to come into the game and keep playing and to kind of cycle out more players. And it makes the Overwatch League a more exciting product. More people will start to watch that. Overall, it's better for the game. You look what happened with Rocket League. Rocket League took off incredibly now that it's gone free to play. With Overwatch 2 on the horizon, you need to have a reason to bring more people in to want to play Overwatch 2. One of the best ways to do that is to make Overwatch free to play so that more people play the game and more people are interested in the game. And so when Overwatch 2 drops, you'll have more people excited for the game. That's really what it comes down to. That's really the basic gist of how you get this game, I think, up and running right now. How you keep people engaged, how you keep people excited is make them want to play it and give it to them. Make it something that they can do more easily and make it so that people who are playing now can start playing with their friends who've never played before, but they want to get into gaming, and they're like, hey, the game is free. You can just join the game and you can play it with me. It is not a big deal. We can all play it and enjoy it, have a good time, and there's no reason to worry about it. And you have the workshop as well, so you can even bring in some people. You can have other game types, other game modes. There's so much more you can do now that if the game is free, the possibilities for people are endless, and it's going to make it so much easier for people to enjoy the game, and you'll bring in more people. So I think free-to-play Overwatch is a huge step in the right direction. The game has been out now for 5 years almost. You can afford to make the game free-to-play now when you know you have another game on the horizon that people are going to play. People are not going to pay the money to play Overwatch now when they can just wait for Overwatch 2 to come out. If they really, really, really want it, they might play, but in general, you're not going to bring in new players to buy the game. They'll wait until Overwatch 2 comes out if they haven't already bought Overwatch 1. So that for me is the big thing. We need something to get us through Overwatch itself, because their game has not had a ton of additions. They're patching the game a lot, which is really nice. The addition of Kanazaka was a surprise. I didn't see it coming. That was a cool thing to get, but we have nothing to expect for the game, and I think that is one of the things that makes the game very difficult for a lot of people right now. You have a lot of people dropping out of the game because they see a game like Valorant, which is new, and it's fresh, and it's getting content regularly, and it's going to be the next big game, potentially, and so a lot of people are going to flock over to Valorant. And Valorant's free. You don't have to pay for Valorant. If you want to stay relevant, you want to stay competitive with Valorant, these other esports titles that are coming out, these other shooters that have been coming out, you need to have a reason to get people to play your game. Why should people play Overwatch? Well, Overwatch does a lot of things that these other companies and games don't do, right? The hero genre, they're not a tactical shooter, right? It's not something where when you're dead, you're dead. You die, you respawn, you come back, you fight. It's team fight after team fight after team fight. Overwatch is a very different game. It's a bit of a complicated game. It's not as easy as some of these other games are to follow, but it's fun, it's enjoyable. But you have to give people reasons to keep playing, and you have to keep the current player base engaged, because right now, a lot of the players are not. So that is my biggest one. Explain to the audience what they can expect for the future of Overwatch between now and the release of Overwatch 2. If they don't, if they say we're not getting a new hero, we're not getting any new maps, anything like that, that's fine. But give us something, right? How is the reworks for Horizon and Paris going? Let us in on that. Give us information on that. Let us know that those maps are getting to a point where they might be playable again soon. Give us information on new balance things that are going on, in-game tournament systems that you could introduce, new ways to play the game, new game modes that you're going to keep introducing. Give us more event support. Make the events more entertaining. Add new things to these events. They've been doing a pretty good job, I think, doing weekly event stuff every time the events drop. Adding new game modes or adding new spins on game modes. Those have been pretty good. But we just need to make sure that they understand that we need more and more and more content to keep the player base engaged. Because eventually people are going to stop playing. If you don't add content, people are going to stop playing. Even with the understanding that Overwatch 2 is on the horizon, there's going to be people who just say, I can stop playing until this game comes out because it doesn't really matter that much, right? So that is my biggest fear. Give us content. Give us enough content that we can enjoy what we have. And that the game itself won't just become a slog that is just not fun to play because there's just no support. That is really the only thing that I want at this point. Is just the knowledge that Overwatch is going to keep getting support and keep getting meaningful support between this weekend and the release of Overwatch 2. But those are my main wants for Overwatch at BlizzCon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What things are you hoping for? What things are you expecting? All that jazz. Anything of that sorts. I want to hear from you. But that is all from me. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more content like this in the future. This is a little different than what I've been doing recently, but I do enjoy making stuff like this still. So if you want more like this, let me know in the comments down below. But I am going to get out of here. Thank you once again. Hope you're all staying safe and staying healthy. And until next time, bye-bye.